Admiral Hyunwoo stood on the bridge of the UN horizon, staring at the massive alien ships that surrounded his vessel. His hands were steady, but his heart raced. This was it. First contact with alien life. After centuries of wondering if humanity was alone in the universe, they finally had their answer. The alien ships were beautiful in a cold, terrifying way. They were 3 times the size of anything Earth had ever built. Their hulls shimmered with strange lights, and weapons that Hyunwoo could not identify pointed directly at the horizon. "Sir, they are sending a message," said Commander Ji-eun, his second officer. She was young, only 32, but already one of the smartest people in the fleet. Her fingers moved quickly across her console. "Translation software is working. They want to talk." Hyunwoo nodded. "Put it on screen." The face that appeared made several crew members gasp. It was not human, that much was clear. The being had pale blue skin, 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern, and a mouth that seemed too small for its head. When it spoke, the words were translated into Korean, but the tone was clear even without translation. This creature looked down on them. "I am High Chancellor Voranis of the Galactic Council," the alien said. "You are from the planet you call Earth, yes? We have been watching you. Your species has developed faster than expected, but you are still primitive. You will submit to Council authority immediately. Disarm your weapons. Prepare to accept our laws. You have one of your Earth days to comply." The screen went black. The bridge was silent. Hyunwoo felt anger rising in his chest, but he kept his face calm. "Ji-eun, contact Earth. Tell them everything. I want a full briefing ready in 2 hours." 3 days later, Hyunwoo found himself on a council station, sitting at a massive table with representatives from dozens of alien species. The station was ancient, built from materials that Earth scientists could not identify. Everything about it screamed power and age. Voranis sat at the head of the table, looking bored. Around him sat other council members, all from different species, all wearing expressions of casual superiority. Hyunwoo noticed that other species, the smaller delegations, sat at the back of the room. They looked afraid. "The Council has ruled the galaxy for 50,000 of your years," Voranis said. "In that time, we have brought order to chaos. We have ended wars. We have created peace. You humans will benefit from our wisdom. You will disarm your military. You will provide resources as tribute. You will send workers to help build our projects. In return, we will protect you." Hyunwoo stood up slowly. "And if we refuse?" The room fell silent. Several aliens made sounds that might have been gasps. Voranis's 4 eyes all focused on Hyunwoo. "No one refuses the Council." "We do," Hyunwoo said. "Humanity did not climb out of caves, survive wars, build starships, and reach the stars just to become servants. We will be happy to trade with you. We will be happy to talk. But we will not submit." A reptilian alien at the table laughed. "You do not understand your position, human. The Council has destroyed 1,000 civilizations stronger than yours. You are insects." After the meeting ended, Hyunwoo was leaving when a small alien approached him. She looked like an insect with multiple arms and large compound eyes. "Admiral," she whispered, "I am Ambassador Lithara of the Chitauri. Please listen. The Council has already decided. They will attack your world whether you submit or not. They fear what you might become. I have seen this before. Why are you telling me this?" Hyunwoo asked. "Because I am tired of watching the Council crush anyone who dares to be free," Lithara said. "My people were free once. Now we are slaves in everything but name. Perhaps you humans can do what we could not." When Hyunwoo returned to the horizon, Ji-eun was waiting with a grim expression. "Earth has responded to the Council's demands," she said. "The United Earth Nations voted. It was unanimous. We will not submit." "Good," Hyunwoo said. "Now we prepare for war." Ji-eun pulled up tactical displays. "I have been studying their ships and their patterns. The Council fights in old ways. They line up their fleets in formations that have not changed in thousands of years. They rely on their shields and their numbers. They think war is about honor and strength. And we know war is about survival." Hyunwoo finished. "What do you recommend?" Ji-eun smiled, and it was not a kind smile. "We use everything we have. Nuclear weapons, railguns, drone swarms, stealth technology. Everything they think is primitive or dishonorable. We make them regret underestimating us." Back on Earth, Dr. Bora was working in her laboratory, surrounded by pieces of alien technology that the Horizon had managed to scan during their encounter. She was 40 years old and had 3 advanced degrees, but she felt like a child looking at alien machinery. It does not make sense, she muttered to her assistant. Their technology is advanced, yes, but it is old. They are still using energy weapons that waste half their power. Their shields are strong but inflexible. It is like they stopped innovating thousands of years ago. Maybe when you rule the galaxy for 50,000 years, you stop trying to improve, her assistant suggested. Bora nodded slowly. That is their weakness. They are powerful but stagnant. We are weaker, but we adapt. We innovate. We find new ways to fight. 2 weeks after the failed negotiations, the Council made their move. They declared humanity an outlaw species. No one was to trade with Earth. No one was to help Earth. Any ship leaving the solar system would be destroyed. It was a blockade meant to isolate and weaken humanity before the final attack. But the Council did not understand humans very well. Instead of creating fear, the blockade created unity. Every nation on Earth, every faction, every group that had spent centuries fighting each other, suddenly had a common enemy. The planet united in a way it never had before. Factories that had built cars now built warships. Scientists who had studied peaceful technology now created weapons. Young people like Lieutenant Junho, who had dreamed of exploring the stars, now trained to fight among them. Junho was only 24, but he was one of the best pilots Earth had ever produced. He stood in the hangar bay of the UN Indomitable, Hyunwoo's new flagship, looking at his fighter. It was small and fast, covered in weapons that most aliens would think were crude. "You ready for this?" asked Captain Tae-young, the commander of Earth's Special Forces. He was a hard man, scarred from Earth's old wars, but he treated the younger pilots with respect. "Ready?" Junho laughed. "I have been ready my whole life. These aliens think they can threaten Earth? They are about to learn what happens when you corner a human." On the bridge of the Indomitable, Hyunwoo watched the tactical displays with Ji-yoon. They showed council ships gathering at the edge of the solar system. Hundreds of them. Maybe thousands. More firepower than Earth had ever seen. "They will come soon," Ji-yoon said quietly. "A fleet that size, they will want to make an example of us. Show the galaxy what happens when you defy the council." Hyunwoo nodded. "Then we show them something too. We show them that humans do not break. We do not surrender, and we definitely do not go quietly." He turned to the communications officer. "Send a message to all Earth forces. All ships. All stations. Every weapon we have. Tell them to get ready. The council is coming, and when they arrive, we are going to teach them the most important lesson about humanity." "What lesson is that, sir?" the young officer asked. Hyunwoo's expression was hard as steel. "That we are not prey. We are not servants. We are humans, and we fight back." The council fleet arrived like a storm. Fleet Admiral Kethzar, a massive reptilian warrior with scales that gleamed like metal, stood on the bridge of his flagship and looked at Earth with satisfaction. The small blue planet hung in space before him, unaware of its coming destruction. "Such a primitive world," Kethzar said to his officers. "This will be over in hours. Perhaps we will not even need the full fleet. A few demonstration strikes and they will surrender." His tactical officer nodded. "The humans have positioned some defenses around their moon, Admiral." "Nothing significant. Should we destroy them first?" "Of course," Kethzar said. "Send the vanguard. Let them clear the way. We will broadcast the destruction to the human world below. Fear will do half our work for us." The vanguard fleet, 200 ships strong, moved forward in perfect formation. It was the council way. Neat lines, overwhelming force, absolute confidence. They had crushed 1,000 civilizations this way. They saw no reason why humanity would be different. On the Indomitable, hidden behind the moon, Hyunwoo watched the council ships advance. His hands were clasped behind his back. His face showed nothing, but inside he was counting down. "Distance?" he asked quietly. Ji-yoon checked her screens. "They are entering the zone now, Admiral. All minds are armed and ready." "Wait," Hyunwoo said. "Let them get comfortable. Let them think they are safe." The council vanguard moved deeper into the space around Luna. Their sensors showed nothing unusual, just empty space and a few human satellites that posed no threat. The commander of the vanguard was already composing his victory report when Ji-yoon spoke. "Admiral, they are in position." "Fire," Hyunwoo said. Space erupted in white fire. Thousands of nuclear mines, carefully positioned over weeks of preparation, detonated at once. The council had abandoned nuclear weapons millennia ago, considering them crude and inefficient. They had forgotten how devastating they could be when used correctly. The electromagnetic pulses fried electronics. The radiation burned through shields designed to stop energy weapons, not crude atomic explosions. The shock waves threw ships into each other. In 30 seconds, 50 council ships were destroyed. Another 100 were damaged and drifting. Kethzar stared at his screens in disbelief. What happened? What did they do? Nuclear weapons, Admiral, his tactical officer said, his voice shaking. Thousands of them. Preset in a minefield pattern. Our sensors did not detect them until too late. Nuclear weapons? Kethzar roared. Those are weapons for savages. How dare they? Admiral, the human fleet is emerging from behind the moon. The Indomitable and 50 other Earth warships appeared, their railguns already firing. The council ships, still reeling from the nuclear blasts, found themselves under attack from weapons they had never encountered. Solid metal slugs accelerated to incredible speeds, punching through shields and armor like paper. At the same time, Captain Taeyang and his stealth corvettes struck from a different angle. His ships were small and coated in materials that made them nearly invisible to council sensors. They slipped past the confused enemy formation and targeted the command ships. Target locked, Taeyang said calmly. Fire all missiles. His 6 corvettes launched everything they had. The missiles were primitive by council standards, but they were fast and they were many. Point defense systems tried to shoot them down, but the systems were overwhelmed. Explosions rippled across 3 council command ships. Then came the drones. Thousands of them. Small, cheap, and controlled by artificial intelligence that could react faster than any living pilot. They swarmed the council fighters in a way that no organic being could match. Lieutenant Junho flew among the drones, his fighter dancing through space. He was human, not AI, but he fought with the passion that machines could never match. He saw a council fighter trying to retreat and put 3 railgun rounds through its engine. For Earth, he shouted, even though no one could hear him in the vacuum of space. On the Indomitable, Jian coordinated the chaos with cold precision. Drone Group 3, support our fighters on the left flank. Corvettes, pull back and reload. Indomitable, target that heavy cruiser. Full railgun barrage. The Indomitable's main guns fired. 20 solid slugs, each weighing several tons, crossed the distance in seconds. The council cruiser's shields held for the first 3 impacts. The 4th cracked them. The rest tore through the ship like it was made of cloth. Kethzar watched his fleet die and felt something he had not felt in decades. Fear. Real fear. All ships retreat. Pull back to safe distance. We need to regroup. The council fleet turned and ran. The mighty armada that had come to crush humanity limped away, leaving behind wreckage and bodies. Behind them, the human fleet held position, not pursuing. They had made their point. Hyunwoo looked at the tactical display and allowed himself a small smile. Status report. 30% of the enemy fleet destroyed or disabled, Ji-eun reported. Minimal casualties on our side. 12 drones lost. 1 corvette damaged but repairable. No ships destroyed. Send a message to Earth, Hyunwoo said. Tell them we won the first battle. Tell them to prepare for the second. The council will be back and they will be angry. Across the galaxy, news of the battle spread like wildfire. Species that had been conquered by the council whispered in secret. A small, unknown race called humanity had fought the council and won. It seemed impossible. The council had not lost a major battle in 10,000 years. Ambassador Lithara heard the news and felt something she had not felt in a long time. Hope. She sent a secret message to Hyunwoo. You have done what my people could not. You have shown the council can bleed. But be careful. Voranis will not forgive this humiliation. He will do anything to destroy you now. In the council chambers, Voranis raged. He threw objects across the room. He screamed at his advisors. Impossible. A primitive species cannot defeat us. Kethzar is a fool. Send him back. Send the entire fleet. I want that planet burned to ash. One of the other council members, an old creature that looked like flowing water in a containment suit, spoke carefully. Perhaps we should negotiate. These humans clearly have advanced military capabilities. They might be useful allies rather than enemies. Allies? Voranis turned his 4 eyes on the speaker. The council does not have allies. We have subjects. These humans will learn their place or they will die. There is no third option. Back on Earth, celebrations filled the streets. Humanity had faced the darkness between the stars and had not blinked. They had fought against impossible odds and won. But the military leaders knew better than to celebrate too much. Dr. Bora worked through the night, analyzing data from the battle. "We hurt them," she told her team, "but we did not break them. They have resources we cannot match, ships we cannot count, weapons we have not seen yet. This was just round one, so what do we do?" her assistant asked. Bora looked at the pieces of council technology she had been studying. "We learn, we adapt. We find every weakness they have and we exploit it, and we pray that our creativity can overcome their experience." On the Indomitable, Hyunwoo stood alone in his quarters, looking at a picture of his family. They had died in the early days of the council blockade, caught on a space station that was destroyed as an example. He touched the picture gently. "We won today," he said to the picture, "but the war has just begun. I promise you, I will make them pay for what they have done. Every ship, every life. I will make the council regret the day they threatened Earth." The meeting room on the Indomitable was tense. Admiral Hyunwoo stood at the head of the table looking at his senior officers. The victory at Luna had bought them time, but everyone knew it would not last. "We cannot just defend," Hyunwoo said. "If we wait for them to come back, they will be prepared for our tactics. We need to take the fight to them." Captain Taeyang nodded. "I agree. But attacking council space? That is dangerous, Admiral. We do not know their territory. We do not know how many ships they have. That is why we will not attack their military," Ji-un said, pulling up star maps on the display. "We attack their supply lines, their shipyards, their fuel depots. We make it impossible for them to sustain a long war. We hit them where they are weak, not where they are strong." Dr. Bora entered the room looking exhausted but excited. "I have good news. We have cracked their FTL technology. They're faster than light drives. I can retrofit our ships within a month. We will be able to travel as fast as they can, maybe faster," Hyunwoo smiled. "Then we have our answer. We upgrade the fleet, we learn their territory, and we strike fast and hard before they know what hit them." 4 weeks later, the human fleet jumped into council space for the first time. They appeared near a massive asteroid mining facility in the Thresh system. The facility produced raw materials for council shipbuilding. Destroying it would cripple their ability to build new vessels. The facility was defended by a small garrison of older council ships. They had not expected any attack. Who would dare strike deep in council territory? When the human fleet appeared, the council commander tried to send a warning, but Taeyang's corvettes destroyed the communication arrays first. "No reinforcements," Taeyang reported. "We have 30 minutes before anyone realizes what is happening here. Then we make every second count," Hyunwoo said. "All ships attack pattern Omega. Destroy the facility and everything protecting it." The battle was short and brutal. The council defenders fought bravely, but they were outnumbered and outmatched. Human ships moved in patterns the enemy could not predict. Drones swarmed like angry insects. Railgun fire tore through shields. But there was something else happening too. As the Indomitable destroyed a council destroyer, Taeyang took his Marines and boarded the mining facility. They moved through the corridors quickly, weapons ready. What they found made Taeyang's blood run cold. The facility was not just a mine. It was a prison. Thousands of workers from dozens of species, all enslaved by the council. They mined the asteroids in terrible conditions, working until they died. A small alien, barely reaching Taeyang's waist, approached him carefully. "Are you here to kill us or free us?" the creature asked in broken Galactic common. Taeyang knelt down to meet the alien's eyes. "We are here to free you. All of you. Gather everyone who wants to leave. We do not have much time." The evacuation was chaos, but it worked. Taeyang's Marines loaded thousands of freed slaves onto transport ships. When the last one was aboard, they set charges throughout the mining facility. The explosion could be seen from orbit. A brilliant ball of fire that erased decades of council tyranny. News of the raid spread across the galaxy faster than the council could contain it. Humans had not just attacked council territory. They had freed slaves. They had struck a blow for freedom itself. It was propaganda gold, and humanity used it well. Ambassador Lithara watched the reports and felt her hearts race with excitement. She sent another message to Hyunwoo. "The Chitauri people are ready. We cannot fight openly yet, but we can help. I am sending you intelligence on council ship movements and vulnerable targets. Use it well." With Lithara's information, the human fleet struck again and again. A fuel depot near the Keth system, a shipyard at the edge of council space, a communications hub that coordinated fleet movements. Each raid was quick, surgical, and devastating. The council tried to respond, but they were fighting an enemy they did not understand. How do you defend against an enemy who does not fight fair, who strikes where you are weak and runs before you can respond? Voranis summoned his military commanders and screamed at them for hours. Find them. Destroy them. I do not care what it costs. The humans are making us look like fools. One commander, a cybernetically enhanced warrior named Rixthal, stepped forward. He was tall and covered in metal augmentations that made him more machine than organic. High Chancellor, I request permission to hunt the humans personally. Give me a fast fleet and I will bring you their admiral's head. Voranis studied Rixthal. The commander had never failed a mission. He was ruthless, efficient, and utterly loyal. You have your permission. Take whatever ships you need. Just bring me results. The biggest raid came at Thresh Prime, the Council's primary shipyard. It was a massive orbital construction facility where the Council built their largest warships. Destroying it would set their fleet production back by years. Jiun planned the attack for weeks. The shipyard has heavy defenses, she explained to Hyunwoo. We cannot fight our way in conventionally, but their security is designed to stop external attacks, not internal sabotage. You want to infiltrate the facility? Hyunwoo asked. Exactly, Jiun smiled. We disguise one of our ships as a council transport. Get it inside. Then we blow the fusion reactors from within. The entire facility will tear itself apart. It was insane. It was brilliant. It was exactly the kind of plan that the council would never expect. Taeyang volunteered to lead the infiltration team. I have done impossible missions before, he said. This will just be one more. The disguised transport docked at Thresh Prime without any problems. Council security was lazy after millennia of unchallenged dominance. Who would dare attack their primary shipyard? Taeyang and his team moved through the facility wearing stolen uniforms, carrying forged credentials. They reached the reactor control room and overwhelmed the guards quickly and quietly. Taeyang's demolition expert began placing charges on the fusion containment systems. This is going to be spectacular, the expert said with a grim smile. How long do we have? Taeyang asked. 5 minutes after activation. Plenty of time to get clear if we run. Alarms started blaring. Someone had discovered the dead guards. So much for the quiet exit, Taeyang muttered. Activate the charges. Everyone, move. The team fought their way back to the transport through corridors filled with council security forces. Lieutenant Jun Ho, who had volunteered for the mission, covered their retreat with precise rifle fire. Go, I will hold them off, he shouted. Like hell you will. Taeyang grabbed the young pilot and dragged him along. Nobody gets left behind. That is the rule. They made it to the transport with seconds to spare. The ship undocked and accelerated away from the station at maximum speed. Behind them, Thresh Prime's fusion reactors went critical. The explosion was unlike anything the galaxy had seen in centuries. The entire shipyard, along with the 6 massive warships under construction, vanished in a ball of nuclear fire. On the Indomitable, watching from a safe distance, Hyunwoo allowed himself a moment of satisfaction. Send a message to the council, he said. Tell them this is just the beginning. Tell them that humanity will never surrender. And tell them that every species they have oppressed is watching. The council's days of unchallenged rule are over. Across the galaxy, something began to stir. Whispers became conversations. Conversations became plans. The humans had shown it was possible to fight the council and win. And if humans could do it, why not others? 3 species sent secret messages to Earth offering alliance. Ambassador Lithara convinced the Chitauri leadership to prepare for open rebellion. The galaxy was changing, and the council could feel their grip slipping, but Voranis was not finished. Not by a long shot. And Rixthal was hunting, getting closer every day. The war was far from over. In fact, it was about to get much, much worse. The message came in the middle of the night. Hyunwoo was sleeping when his communicator woke him with an urgent alert. The words on the screen made his blood freeze. New Kyoto colony. Bioweapon attack. 80,000 dead. More dying every hour. Hyunwoo ran to the bridge in his nightclothes. Jiun was already there, her face pale. The council used a plague weapon, Admiral. A disease designed to kill humans specifically. New Kyoto never had a chance. By the time they realized what was happening, it was too late. Survivors? Hyunwoo asked, though he already knew the answer. A few thousand in sealed environmental suits, but the colony itself is dead. Everything is contaminated. Hyunwoo's hands clenched into fists. He had grown up on New Kyoto. His sister had lived there with her family. Send the message to Voronus directly. Tell him he has started something he cannot stop. Tell him we will make the council pay for every single death. Captain Taeyang volunteered to lead the rescue mission to New Kyoto. What he saw there would haunt him forever. Bodies in the streets. Children who never woke up. Families dead in their homes. The council had not just attacked a military target. They had committed genocide. Why? One of his Marines asked, looking at a playground full of small bodies. Why do this? What did children ever do to them? They did it to break us, Taeyang said quietly. They want us to be afraid. They want us to surrender. They do not understand that this will only make us fight harder. Earth's response was swift and terrible. Hyunwoo authorized strikes on council command facilities across 3 systems. No warnings, no mercy. Human ships appeared, fired everything they had, and disappeared before reinforcements could arrive. One target was a council military academy on a moon called Vextar. Dr. Bora had developed a new weapon specifically for this strike. A virus like the one the council had used, but this one attacked their computer systems instead of living beings. It spread through their networks, destroying data and shutting down defenses. The academy's shields failed. Their weapons went offline. They could not even call for help. Then the human fleet arrived and turned the facility into rubble. 3,000 council officers died in the attack. It was a fraction of what they had done to New Kyoto, but it was a start. Ji-un watched the destruction from the Indomitable's bridge and felt nothing. No satisfaction, no regret, just cold determination. Target destroyed, Admiral. Moving to the next coordinates. But the council had been preparing too. Rixthal had been studying human tactics, learning their patterns. He set a trap in the Void Rift, a region of unstable space where sensors did not work well. He knew the humans would come eventually. They always did. When the human fleet jumped into the Void Rift, Rixthal was waiting. His ships were positioned perfectly, using the unstable space to hide their numbers. The moment the humans appeared, he struck. Ambush, Ji-un shouted. Council fleet bearing 270. They were waiting for us. The battle that followed was brutal. Both sides fought with desperate intensity. Human ships used their speed and maneuverability, but Rixthal had planned for that. His ships moved in coordinated patterns that cut off escape routes and forced the humans into kill zones. The Indomitable took heavy damage. Explosions rocked the ship. Systems failed. People died at their post. Hyunwoo held onto his command chair as the ship shook around him. We need to break through their lines. Ji-un, find me a weakness. Working on it. Ji-un's fingers flew across her damaged console. There, Rixthal's flagship is at the center of their formation. If we can damage it, their coordination will fall apart. How do we get close enough? Hyunwoo asked. It is surrounded by his entire fleet. Lieutenant Junho's voice came over the comm. Admiral, I can do it. My fighter is small enough. I can get through their point defenses. No, Hyunwoo said immediately. That would be suicide. Maybe, Junho said. But if I do not try, we all die anyway. New Kyoto deserves justice, Admiral. Let me get it for them. Hyunwoo closed his eyes. He was sending a boy to his death. But Junho was right. They had no other choice. Go, and Junho, thank you. Junho's fighter accelerated toward Rixthal's flagship at maximum speed. Council defenses opened fire, filling space with energy beams and missiles. Junho dodged and weaved, his reactions enhanced by years of training and pure adrenaline. He made it through the outer defenses. Then the middle ring. He was so close now. Rixthal's flagship loomed ahead, massive and deadly. Junho armed his fighter's self-destruct system and aimed for the ship's main reactor. For Earth, he whispered. For New Kyoto. For humanity. The explosion tore through Rixthal's flagship like a knife through paper. The reactor went critical, and secondary explosions ripped the massive ship apart. Rixthal himself barely escaped in a pod, his ship dying around him. With their flagship destroyed and their commander gone, the council formation fell apart. The human fleet, battered but not broken, fought their way clear and escaped into FTL. Behind them, they left wreckage and chaos. On the Indomitable's bridge, there was no celebration. Hyunwoo stood silently, looking at the empty space where Junho's fighter had been. Ji-un was crying quietly at her station. The crew worked in grim silence. He saved us all, Hyunwoo said finally. Make sure everyone knows his name. Lieutenant Junho, hero of humanity. While the Battle of the Void Rift raged, something else was happening across the galaxy. Ambassador Lithara stood before the Chitauri High Council and spoke words that would change everything. "For 10,000 years we have served the Galactic Council," she said. "We have fought their wars. We have built their ships. We have given them our resources and our children. And what have we received? Only scraps and contempt. The humans have shown us another way. They have shown us that the Council can be defeated. I say we join them." The debate was fierce, but in the end, the Chitauri voted to openly ally with humanity. Within days, 3 more species followed. The Free Species Coalition was born, and suddenly Earth was not alone anymore. Voranus watched his empire crumbling and felt fear for the first time in his long life. "This cannot be happening," he muttered. "The Council has ruled for 50,000 years. We cannot fall to a species that learned to use fire only yesterday." His advisor spoke carefully. "High Chancellor, perhaps we should consider negotiations. The humans have proven they cannot be easily defeated. And now with the Chitauri and others joining them, never." Voranus screamed. "I will use every weapon we have. I will activate the void gates if necessary. The humans will bow or they will die." The advisor went pale. "The void gates have not been used in 20,000 years. They were banned as too dangerous. If you activate them, then whole star systems will die," Voranus said coldly. "But the Council will survive. That is all that matters." Fleet Admiral Kethazar heard about Voranus's plan and felt sick. He had fought for the Council his entire life. He believed in order and strength. But this was madness. Using weapons that could destroy entire solar systems? He sent a secret message to Ambassador Lithara. "Tell the humans about the void gates. Tell them what Voranus plans. I cannot stop him alone, but perhaps together we can prevent this catastrophe." When Hyunwoo received the warning, he called an emergency meeting with his officers and the coalition leaders. Dr. Bora presented what she had learned about the void gates. Ancient weapons that could tear apart the fabric of space itself, destroying everything in a star system. "We need to destroy these gates before Voranus can use them," Jiun said. "And we need to end this war before more people die. It is time for a final assault on Council Prime itself." Hyunwoo looked around the table at the faces of humans and aliens, all united in a common cause. "Then we finish this. We go to Council Prime. We stop the void gates and we end the Council's tyranny forever." The combined fleet of humanity and the Free Species Coalition gathered at the edge of Council space. It was the largest armada in galactic history. Ships from a dozen species all united against the Council that had oppressed them for so long. Admiral Hyunwoo stood on the bridge of the Indomitable, looking at the tactical display. Hundreds of ships, thousands of fighters, millions of warriors all ready to fight. Ambassador Lithara stood beside him, representing the coalition. "This is it," Lithara said quietly. "After today, everything changes. Either we win our freedom or we die trying." "We will win," Hyunwoo said. "We have come too far to fail now." On Council Prime, Voranus watched the approaching fleet and smiled coldly. "Let them come," he said. "They think they can defeat us at our own capital? Fools. Activate the void gates. Prepare to destroy the human homeworld." His technicians hesitated. "High Chancellor, the void gates are unstable. If we activate them, there is a chance." "I do not care about chances," Voranus screamed. "Do it! Destroy Earth! Show the galaxy what happens to those who defy the Council." The void gate network activated. Ancient machines buried throughout the galaxy began to draw power. At Sol system near Earth, reality itself began to twist and tear. Dr. Bora, who had stayed behind to defend Earth, watched in horror as her instruments went crazy. "The void gate is opening," she reported to Earth Command. "We have maybe 30 minutes before it fully activates. After that, everything in the solar system will be destroyed. Can you stop it?" they asked. Bora looked at the weapon she had been building in secret. The Cascade Drive. A device that could destabilize the void gate's power source, but using it would destroy the drive itself and probably kill her too. "Yes," she said calmly. "I can stop it." At Council Prime, the battle had begun. The combined fleet crashed into the Council defenses like a tidal wave. Ships exploded. Fighters swarmed. Energy weapons lit up space in every direction. It was chaos on a scale the galaxy had never seen. Captain Tae Yang led ground forces toward the Council chambers. His Marines fought through the capital city, taking heavy casualties but never stopping. They had one mission: Capture Voronus and stop the void gates. Keep moving, Taeyang shouted as explosions rocked the street around them. We are almost there. Do not stop for anything. But someone was waiting for them. Rixthal had survived the destruction of his flagship, and he had one purpose left: revenge. He stood in the council chamber plaza, his cybernetic body gleaming with weapons. You will go no further, human, Rixthal said. Behind him, the entrance to the council chambers was visible. So close, but Rixthal blocked the way. In orbit, Hyunwoo received Bora's message. She was going to use the Cascade Drive. She was going to sacrifice herself to save Earth. No, he said. There has to be another way. There is not. Bora's voice was steady. Tell my family I love them. And Hyunwoo, win this war. Make it mean something. The Cascade Drive activated. Near Earth, the void gate shuddered and collapsed in on itself, its power consumed by Bora's weapon. The doctor watched as her laboratory tore apart around her, satisfied that she had saved billions of lives. Her last thought was of the stars she would never explore. Hyunwoo felt the loss like a physical blow. Another friend dead. Another sacrifice. How many more before this ended? He forced himself to focus. Jiyoon, status of the Void Gate network? Collapsing, Jiyoon reported, tears on her face. Bora did it. Earth is safe. But the other gates are still active. We need to shut down the control center on Council Prime. On the ground, Taeyang faced Rixthal. The cyborg warrior was faster and stronger, enhanced by technology that made him almost unstoppable. But Taeyang was fighting for something Rixthal could never understand: freedom. They fought through the plaza, weapons blazing. Rixthal's enhanced strength nearly overwhelmed Taeyang several times, but the human captain was clever and resourceful. He used the environment, the rubble, everything he could find. Finally, Taeyang saw his opening. Rixthal had overextended, too confident in his superiority. Taeyang fired his last grenade directly into the cyborg's power core. The explosion threw both of them backward. When the smoke cleared, Rixthal lay dying, his cybernetic body failing. He looked up at Taeyang with something like respect. You fought well, human, perhaps. Perhaps the council was wrong about your kind. We tried to tell you, Taeyang said, limping toward the council chambers. Inside the chambers, Voronus was frantically trying to activate more void gates when Taeyang and his marines burst in. The High Chancellor looked small and pathetic now, his 4 eyes wide with fear. You cannot do this, Voronus said. The council has ruled for 50,000 years. The galaxy needs us. Without us, there will be chaos. The galaxy will be fine, Taeyang said, placing Voronus in restraints. In fact, it will be better than fine. It will be free. Jiyoon shut down the Void Gate network from the control center. Across the galaxy, the ancient weapons powered down. Their threat ended forever. The battle in orbit was winding down. Council ships were surrendering by the dozens. Fleet Admiral Kethzar, who had secretly helped the coalition, broadcast a message to all council forces. The war is over. Voronus is captured. The void gates are shut down. Any ship that continues to fight is acting without orders. I am ordering all council military forces to stand down. Slowly, the fighting stopped. Ships drifted apart. The silence after so much noise was almost painful. Hyunwoo looked around his damaged bridge and felt exhaustion wash over him. It is over, Jiyoon said quietly. We won. 3 months later, representatives from every species in the galaxy gathered on Council Prime. But this time, they came as equals. The Galactic Council was dissolved. In its place, they created the Democratic Galactic Federation. Every species had a vote. Every species had a voice. Voronus was tried for war crimes and sentenced to life in prison. He would spend his remaining years watching the galaxy he had tried to control thrive without him. Kethzar worked to reform his people and integrate them into the new Federation. Ambassador Lithara was elected as the first Chancellor of the Federation. In her acceptance speech, she said, "We owe our freedom to many heroes, but especially to humanity, who showed us that courage and determination can overcome any tyranny." Hyunwoo was offered command of the Federation military, but he declined. "I have fought enough," he told them. "It is time for others to lead. It is time for me to go home." He returned to Earth and established a memorial for all those who had died in the war. Lieutenant Junho's name was carved at the very top. Dr. Bora was there too, along with thousands of others. The first Deep Space Academy was named the Junho Institute, training the next generation of explorers. Ji-eun took the position Hyun-woo had refused. She became Earth's first ambassador to the Galactic Federation, using her brilliant strategic mind to build lasting peace instead of winning wars. Captain Tae-yang became commander of the Federation Joint Special Operations Command, leading combined forces from dozens of species. The freed slaves he had rescued on his first raid into Council space often came to thank him. He always told them the same thing. I was just doing what humans do, fighting for freedom. 1 year after the war ended, Hyun-woo stood at the memorial on a quiet evening. He looked up at the stars and thought about everything that had happened. So much death, so much sacrifice, but also so much hope. A young reporter approached him asking for an interview. Admiral Hyun-woo, you are a legend now. The man who defeated the Galactic Council.
How does it feel?
Hyun-woo thought for a moment. I am not a legend, he said finally. I am just a man who did what needed to be done. The real heroes are the ones who did not come home. Remember their names. Honor their sacrifice, and never forget what they taught us. What did they teach us? The reporter asked. Hyun-woo smiled. That humanity will never surrender. That freedom is worth any price. And that when you push us to the edge, when you threaten everything we love, we do not break. We fight back. And we win. The reporter thanked him and left. Hyun-woo stayed at the memorial a while longer, watching the sunset. Tomorrow he would start building the peace they had fought so hard to achieve. But tonight he would remember. Across the galaxy, former council species were learning to govern themselves. Trade routes reopened. Species that had been enemies for millennia were becoming friends. It would not be easy. Building a true democracy from the ashes of tyranny never was. But for the first time in 50,000 years, the galaxy had hope. Real hope, and that hope had a name: humanity.